What's up, everyone? So a third-person mod has finally began development on Nexus Mods, and it's still a work in progress, but for what you'd want to use it for, it's perfectly functional. And there's 4 camera modes, and you can see the front of your character. It's still a little bit buggy, so certain animations still look a bit funny. If you go into combat, it looks funny. And it's got the same bug as some mirrors have in the game, where if you equip headwear, you'll come up bald. So if you come up bald, just take your headwear off. But for the most part, like for checking out your character, the kind of thing you'd have to go into your inventory for normally, you can now do that seamlessly while running or just doing free roam exploration. You can just have a look at your character, and some of you might like me, you might appreciate that. So I'm just going to show everyone how to install it because I was trying to use Nexus Mod Manager and they've changed the UI over the years. I much preferred the original UI that was very basic, and now it's like all flashy looking and metrified, and I find it hard to use. So I wanted to just show people how to install it manually. Plus, the install process involves installing CyberEngine, which I already have experience with, so I can just show people how to do it in one go instead of getting mixed up or getting lost in the Vortex mod manager. So first off, you're going to need to unzip some files after you download them, and it uses a RAR file, which Windows does not seem to have built-in support for. So either you're going to have to use WinRAR or download another unzipping program. I use 7-zip, so you can just Google 7-zip. It's it's free, it's open source, it's tiny, it's a really handy little program. And just go to download and pick in here. Don't think it matters which version, they all work, but the top one for the latest build of Windows, and you want x64. Hopefully you're running on a 64-bit version of Windows, or just pick the one that's relevant, but it should be one of these 2 top ones. x64, they'll both work. Like you could use the x86 version and it'll run on 64-bit Windows. So either of these, or you can use the MSI installer. It's the same thing. So hit that. It'll download a small file and run that file and install that before you get on with this guide. So, or if you already have WinRAR, just use that. So after that, go to Google and type CyberEngine GitHub. This is the same as the one on Nexus Mods, just the download is easier to reach. So I prefer to use the GitHub download for it, and it's a Yamashi CyberEngine tweaks. So here on the right, it's got releases. Click that. And there's a release.zip file. So that's straight into the download already, while with Nexus Mods you have to wait 5 seconds. So save it into a folder that you can find on your PC. I'm just going to save it as release.zip because we're going to mess with it anyway. And hit save. You can see it download, it's just 1 MB. Then search in Google Cyberpunk TPP Mod, and it's the second result. You can see the URL is Nexus Mods, and it's called JB TPP Mod. So click that. Once that's loaded, go to Files, and it's got a female and a male. Don't worry about that. This is more a preference. You want a small neck or a large neck. So it's cross-compatible. Like the female neck will work with the male neck. It's just a neck size thing. So I don't know why they even bother. They should just call it neck size. But anyway, I went with small neck, and it works on males too. And just hit manual download. And it says you need CyberEngine tweaks. We're going to install it together, so don't worry about that. Just hit download. And you can see here, unless you're premium, just go for the slow download option. So save it to the same location that you've saved the release.zip for CyberEngine. And whichever browser you're using should have an option to open the folder that you've saved the files into. Otherwise, hopefully you know how to find it in File Explorer. I'm just going to go Show in Folder. Otherwise, normally it'll default to your Downloads folder, where, see, I've got a ton of stuff here. You'll have to find it in there if you didn't know where you saved it. It's probably in Downloads. But anyway, I've saved it to a CyberEngine Tweaks folder. You can see the 2 files here, release.zip and female. This is a RAR file, so I can't extract it with Windows. But luckily, we've got 7-zip installed, hopefully. And with 7-zip, you can just go here and extract to release. So this is CyberEngine we're extracting first. So that's in its own folder. You can see the release folder has appeared. Drag the mod into the release folder you've just extracted. And you can see now it's in here. These are the CyberEngine files, and this is the mod file. And you want to right-click the mod file and 7-zip extract here, which will just put it straight into the right folder that it needs to be in. So I've done that, and it's gone into this plugins folder here. Like, I can find it, but don't worry about that. It goes to the right place, and then you can delete that RAR file. So now you've got all the files you need. You just have to, depends how you want to do this. You can have 2 windows open if you're not like accustomed to navigating your PC, or you can just cut this and go hunting for the Cyberpunk folder, sorry. So right click, cut or copy, doesn't matter, cut, and find your Cyberpunk install. So I've already got mine pinned, but the default should be like, for example, for Steam, it's in C drive, program files x86, Steam apps, and common, and the Cyberpunk folder will be in there. But since I've got my install folder in a different location, I have to click here, and you can see Steam library, Steam apps. You know, if you're in GOG, you have to find wherever the GOG folder is installed. But basically, find your Cyberpunk 2077 folder, go to bin x64, and right-click and paste it in there. Now, as you can see, I've already got the files in here, and the method to delete this is the same. You just delete those files. So it's the plugins folder and the 3 with their own date. Like, all the files will have like all the same date. Like, you can see they've got 1012 for date modified, and these extra 3 files here are on 1912, and it's global.ini, license, and version.dll. So if you ever want to get rid of CyberEngine and the mod, just select all of those and hit delete, and that will get rid of them, and it'll be uninstalled. Just make sure the game's not running. So that's all you need to do, and then launch your game and press B. When the game's launching, don't alt-tab out or it'll crash, because the CyberEngine has to load into your game. So that's the one thing that a few people have like commented on my previous videos, is that it's crashing their game. Don't alt-tab. Like, it's really hard not to do, because I'm used to multitasking. I'll launch a game and automatically like alt-tab and go into Facebook or, you know, my browser, and it'll crash straight away. So load your game up, let it load fully into the menu. Once you're in the menu, like at the main menu screen, you can already alt-tab and multitask at that point. But if you're still loading into the game, the initial load, don't multitask at all. And then load up a game, whichever save file, and hit B, and you'll be able to see your character. And if your face isn't showing, if your head's not showing, just take off your headwear. And now I'll go over the bugs with it, because it's still a work in progress, and what you can do to get around some of them. So if you load up a different save game, you might find your character has no head. Like, you'll just load up with no head. The fix for that at the moment, because they haven't, they're still working on it, is to restart your game. Like, that's the only way. I tried loading multiple times. I tried going back to the main menu. If you load more than once, your head will disappear. I'll also try fast traveling, because I haven't actually tested fast traveling with it. But for the most part, like, it's a 1 save per game launch. So you can play in third person for that initial load, and then once you start loading multiple saves, just ignore this. This is one of the bugs, like, still being worked on. Once you start loading up other locations, other save games, you'll have no head. So we'll try fast traveling. I haven't actually tested fast traveling yet. This would actually make the playability very limited if fast traveling. But yeah, hopefully you guys know how to install it now and have got it working. But I'm just showing you now. Oh, good. Oh, good. So yeah, you can fast travel with it, and you can enjoy at least 1 game load in third person. And it's really good for traveling, as long as you don't mind the animations that need to be modded in still, or fixed. Like, possibly they could use NPC character models, but then you'd lose your customization of clothing, which would be the downside of trying to mod in the proper movement animations instead of having this. Thank you. This weird sideway body lean that happens in first-person mode. And the other bugs are to do with some of the walking, but I'll show you here, is combat. You can't really do combat in third person yet. They literally have to mod the animations and the character models in properly and adjust the camera position, everything. So if I bring out my fists, you can see them through the character body. It's not too bad until you start fighting and doing jumps and stuff. It looks a bit funny. Oh, and stuff like climbing. looks a bit unco too. But the worst is the guns. So you can see here, this is what the gun looks like. And if you change it to the first camera, it looks like this. Like it's got the first person model. There's no proper third person animation for the guns. So he looks a bit funny. I mean, it's not horrible though. I mean, if you just want third person at all, it's a start for sure. But yeah, looks silly. So don't bring your guns out, basically. But you know, you can just go back to first person for combat. And you can use a little bit, but yeah, maybe fist fights would be the only thing I'd really bother using it for. See if it even works here properly. It's hard to aim. Yeah, see, it's not even working properly, is it? Yeah, no, you have to be in first person for it to even land hits. Just gonna make sure it's not broken. I feel like my combat's broken now. I just want one to fight. Okay. Come back. Yeah, it's working. So, as I just demonstrated, the third-person combat is not really viable. I'll try shooting someone if I can find like some enemies around in third person. We'll just test that real quick. Because I have not done extensive testing. I'm just happy to have a third person at all at this point. And yeah, so let's see. Yeah, you see, you can't really aim, can you?
This is a road of fire and war!
Can I hit it? Yeah, you can hit stuff. At least that works, because I was trying to punch in third person and it wasn't even connecting. Like the punches weren't hitting the target. Yeah, they're not hitting because of the model positioning. Can I go back to shooting? Oh, smart guns are good. Like, it just looks funny. But you can use smart weapons because they auto-aim. So yeah, there's that. And the main thing is, though, if I load like a different save, I'll just show you right now so you know what to expect. If I load up, like, I've got a female save here. If I load up without restarting the game, I'm going to have no head. So it just looks... Yeah, you become a headless horseman. But I just wanted to share this because it's like fresh news. It's only released in the past 24 hours, I think, and you know, a bunch of gaming websites are covering it. But the install procedure, as you can see, this is what happens. The install procedure is a bit tedious, so hopefully that's streamlined and helped a bunch of users out. And if you were just wondering what the mod's like without installing it, at least you can see it here. That's what my character actually looks like. And now to get that working, I'll just demonstrate the actual fix, the temporary fix until they update the mod and fix the bugs out. Don't worry if it crashes when you close it. That just happens at the moment with the current Cyber Engine version. It's not a big deal. It'll only crash when you're exiting the game. Now I'm just going to load it up again, and just, yeah, again, if you've got Cyber Engine installed, don't alt+tab and multitask while you're launching the game, because you'll just get crashes. It'll pretty much crash immediately. Just wait for Steam to realize the game's not running. Come on, Steam. No, it just now. Just when I opened Task Manager, it scared Steam into checking. So loading it up again, and I'm going to load the female this time on the same mod installation. So you know how it had the male-female thing, just to show you that because I just had the male one running, so in case you think that I installed the wrong one, it's just to show you that they're cross-compatible. So I'm going to load up that female save I got.
Hey everyone, feels great to have you back. So then, did you all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier docked in Night City called Kujira, or the Whale?
And there we go. See, the heads appeared now because I reloaded the game. So you can fast travel and you can play like normal. I'm not sure about reloading, like if you die and have to reload after death. If it's a checkpoint, it might work as long as it's the same game. That was weird. But I'm not sure, like I guess I could try dying now. We'll see. Like, there's some cops around. I Really, woman? We'll find some. We'll call some police. Where are the police? And yeah, you can see that third-person combat is really messed up. This is just more to see what happens if we die and reload the checkpoint, because reloading a completely different save game will break it. So this should, yeah, it's loading last checkpoint. We'll see what happens now. Is it going to reload checkpoint from my other save? Or yeah, no, it's the same place. Yeah, there we go. So if you die, you also have to restart the game, as you can see. And there's also a weird bug with combat, and I don't know if it'll happen on this character. No, it's not happening on this character. I'll load up my male character just to show you another bug that happens when you don't reload with this mod installed. But this isn't a big deal. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you will just be happy to have a third-person option at all, and know how to install it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. If there's any more updates for this mod, I'll definitely be covering it. Oh, it let me. That's weird. I wasn't able to do this before. Like, I had the head disappearing problem on like multiple reloads. So maybe one load per. I know if I load this again, the head will disappear. Well, that's good at least. So it's buggy. It's buggy. It's still a work in progress. So if your head does disappear, just relaunch the whole game. That tends to fix it every time. But as you can see here, I was able to switch between 2 different loads, and my head came back after it was gone with the female. Now, there was one bug. I don't know if I can show you it now. There was one bug I found when you're aiming down a gun. If you switch camera modes while holding the crosshair down, I don't know if it'll appear. No, it only happens when the bug, like the headless bug, has happened at the same time. So if I reload this save, this one. What if it's an issue with reloading different saves, same saves? But before, when I was testing, I tried loading between 3 different save games, and once the head was gone, it wouldn't come back. So it's a bit strange that how it's bugging out. Oh, the head is fine on this character. Cool. Maybe because I've been testing this save file a lot. I'll try loading up a different one. Or the mod's just messing with me, and because it's still buggy, it's like decided to work well now. There we go. So now it's happened again. Loaded a different save up. So this was one of the other bugs I wanted to compare, is when you bring a gun out, if you switch camera modes, you end up inside their head, and it looks really freaky. So yeah, if you want to freak yourself out, you can test out not reloading the game, and yeah, the animations just get completely wonky at this point. Those police. Oh, it is hard to aim.
Ain't got no right now, fuckhead!
There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another one. Bye. Wait, how am I alive? How am I alive? Oh, I had a cyberware that brings me back to life.